You know who's feeling good right now? You know who's excited? You know who's bullish? You know who's ready to rock and roll? Well, you're looking at him. That's me. And if you're into Bitcoin, you're in a cryptocurrency holder, then I want you to be feeling the same. Why would I say that? Well, besides the fact that we're active participants in the global financial revolution, there are multiple indications that our bags, they're going to moon so hard. It's going to be great. In today's video, I'm going to give you my top 10 reasons for why I'm so damn bullish in the cryptocurrency markets right now. So buckle up, strap in, because we're going to blast through these. And I'll hit you with a few that you might never even have heard about before. So make sure to stay tuned. Number 10, Donald J. Trump is likely to win the 2024 presidential election. Regardless of your political leanings, this is a big deal because he's going very pro crypto. Currently, Polymarket's betting odds have the former president at a 72% chance of winning in November. Now, I like to use Polymarket to gauge what's most likely to happen because it's real people putting their real money on potential future outcomes. And I just have to say this, Trump's response immediately after being shot, obviously super badass. So badass that he might not even really have much of a chance of losing now.
Watch out.
Both Trump and the Republican Party have become very, very pro-crypto over the last few months. I'm sure in part, at least, due to people like Brian Armstrong heavily lobbying the party. Anyway, and then there's Trump's new VP pick, who is JD Vance, who literally hodls 6 figures worth of Bitcoin. He's a Bitcoiner. It's crazy. So if indeed Trump does win, then I expect the price of crypto to bump accordingly. Watch out. Number 9, altcoin ETFs are coming. After the SEC was neutered by the U.S. federal courts, expect to see all kinds of altcoin ETFs arriving to both U.S. markets and more offshore stock exchanges as well, although they're already leading U.S. markets. Anyway, the U.S. spot ETH ETFs set to drop any moment now, with some sources claiming that July 23rd is going to be the big day. VanEck and 21 Shares have also filed paperwork for spot Solana ETFs in the USA. Hashdex has filed for a joint BTC ETH ETF, and there's even talk that Grayscale wants to start flipping its altcoin investment products into various spot altcoin basket ETFs. And this, of course, is only the US markets. Expect other offshore stock markets to introduce similar products in an effort to compete. Hong Kong doesn't want to be left behind. They'll be running out Solana ETFs and all that stuff soon too. Massive liquidity coming for altcoins. Number 8, the global M2 money supply is set to increase. Now, I did a full video on this recently, a few weeks ago, link in the description, but the TLDR is that I believe we're on the cusp of the next major leg up in the global M2 money supply. And it's pretty dang clear that the prices of Bitcoin and the larger cryptocurrency markets are positively correlated to the global M2 supply. Furthermore, the US is currently ramping down its quantitative tightening cycle, which takes pressure off of global M2. Well, China, those guys, they're starting a new quantitative easing schedule. So fire up the money printers, baby. It's gonna get spicy out here. Number 7, we're currently on an upswing in the Global Liquidity Index's long-term cycle. Now, the Global Liquidity Index captures the global M2, but it also includes changes with regards to interest rates and other credit conditions. As economists have noted, global liquidity is tracked by the index tends to run in 5 to 6 year cycles. We're currently coming out of a recent cycle bottom from mid-2023 and are headed back up. If this pattern plays out, well, we'll hit another peak by late 2025. Remember, the more money sloshing around the system, the better price performance we are likely to see in assets like Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. On to number 6. Let's welcome Bitcoin's newest mascots to the party, the standard bearers during the 2020 and 2021 bull market. People like Michael Saylor, CEO of MicroStrategy, Nayib Bukele, President of El Salvador. Thank you for your service, boys. However, it currently appears that the 2024-2025 bull run marketing team is passing over to some big heavy hitters. Larry Fink, CEO of BlackRock, Michael Dell of Dell Computer fame. Welcome to the party, guys. Here's BlackRock's
Larry Fink on CNBC just this week. Have a listen.
Now, BlackRock is not known as a gunslinger by any means. So you obviously must believe that this may be as an alternative. Is this an alternative in order to be able, because of a deficit, maybe something long-term people should have?
Absolutely. As you know, I was a skeptic.
Yes.
I was a proud skeptic. Right. I believe it is an instrument that you invest in when you're more frightened, though. Right. It is an instrument when you believe that countries are debasing their currency, debasing their currency by excess deficits, and some countries are. I believe we have countries where you're frightened of your everyday existence, and if you have an opportunity to invest in something that is outside your country's control, then you can have more financial control. And so I'm a major believer that there is a role for Bitcoin in portfolios. I believe you're going to see that as one of the asset classes that we all look at. I look at it as digital gold, as I said before, and I believe there's a great industrial use for it, and I think a lot of people are missing that.
I couldn't agree more. I changed my mind about it when you did. You admitted my thinking. It was like, you don't believe in it, so I can't believe it. I want to thank Larry Fink for the message of optimism.
And then we have billionaire CEO of Dell Computers, Michael Dell. Just take a look at his X posts as of late. Obviously, this dude is orange pilled. He's getting into Bitcoin. It's crazy. I think it's unlikely that a person of Dell's status will be making these posts just for fun. Okay. I'm expecting some sort of announcement soon from Mr. Dell with regards to, well, his Bitcoin stack that he's been buying Bitcoin. He's got $100 billion, even 1%. It's a lot of Bitcoin. Will his company be the next MicroStrategy? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. All right. Now, before we get to my top 5 reasons, let me tell you real quick about the Wealth Mastery newsletter. This is your weekly guide to the cryptocurrency markets. Our readers love it. I'm sure you will too. And here's why. Every single week, my team of researchers and I are helping you not just to stay ahead of the curve, but also to save your time by finding the latest and the greatest insights on altcoins, meme coins, DeFi, airdrops, charts, and much, much more. You can join our 135,000 plus weekly readers for free. Link in the description on YouTube or the pinned comment on X. Okay, back to it. So, number 5, interest rate cuts are coming. Rate cuts are coming. Okay, for several reasons, we know that the central bank interest rate cuts boost the prices of assets like tech stocks, Bitcoin, and crypto. Several European banks just started cutting their rates over the past few months, like the European Central Bank, for example. And all indications are that the U.S. Federal Reserve's first interest rate cuts since COVID is going to happen this fall, most likely in September. In fact, new U.S. CPI data is showing inflation at just 3%, coming in cooler once again than expected. Mark was expecting 3.1. It came in at 3. Nice. Month on month, inflation is flipping negative. It keeps going down. And in a hearing last week, Fed Chair Jerome Powell told senators that reducing rates too late could actually weaken the U.S. economy. Thus, of course, running a risk of recession, which you don't want to happen, which is just further confirming that U.S. cuts are coming. Number 4, we have not had a pi cycle top yet. If I could choose only one indicator to help me know when to sell, it might just be the pi cycle top indicator. Look at it historically, it has been bang on. Now, let's read up on the indicator details on your own, but the Cliff Notes version is to sell when the orange line crosses above the green line. Now, this indicator absolutely nailed the 2017 Bitcoin top, and then it did a heck of a job when it hit super near the top in early 2021. It came 2 days before it or something like that. And I know we got a slightly higher price later in 2021, but had you sold early 2021, walked away, you would have been just fine too. Heck of a job the pi cycle indicators they're doing. Heck of a job. Now, the good news for us is that the orange line has not crossed above the green line yet. Still a ways away in our current cycle. Okay, so keep your eyes on this indicator as we move through the rest of 2024 and move into 2025 for that to cross. I'll be letting you know about it here, but just in case you want to follow yourself, check it out. Number 3, a multipolar world. I believe we'll continue to see Bitcoin and cryptocurrency prices rise in part because they're the most logical alternative in an increasingly multipolar world. Think about it. The US dollar is having its current reserve currency status tested all the time. China and India are rising. Then there's the BRICS group. Of course, the EU is doing whatever the EU does over there. So in the internet age, when everyone is watching these fiat currencies and the nations behind them battling it out for supremacy, where's the most logical place to put your money? Just maybe it's the one currency that stands apart from the rest, the one that's
digitally native, decentralized, not controlled by any one person or government, and is immune to debasement. Do you see what I'm getting at here? If you replay the CNBC clip with Fink, I think you'll hear elements of this idea when he's speaking. Bitcoin is a superior currency. Number two, the US spot Bitcoin ETF numbers. Right now, Bitcoin miners are minting 3.125 BTC every 10 minutes. That's 18.75 Bitcoin per hour, 4 to 50 Bitcoin per day. However, US spot Bitcoin ETFs are pulling in on average 1,987 Bitcoin per trading day at current prices. They bought twice what's been mined in the sense they've started trading. It's absolutely insane. And that current number is 4x the daily supply of newly minted Bitcoin. And that's just US spot Bitcoin ETFs. We have Australia Bitcoin ETFs. We have Hong Kong and lots of other places. Okay, so a lot is happening here with this just spot Bitcoin ETF demand. We're not talking about people buying on Coinbase. We're not talking about any other demand coming through. Just US Bitcoin ETFs, 4x the daily production. Let that sink in for a second. Now, finally, my number one reason for why I'm so damn bullish on Bitcoin, and that is, of course, is the coming Bitcoin supply shock. And it's actually kind of already happening right now. Look, it took 6 months for the post-Bitcoin halving supply shock to really hit the markets after the 2016 halving. Then it took 5 months for it to hit again after the 2020 halving. Currently, we're only 3 months post the 2024 halving. If our time frames repeat, then we should expect to see another supply shock starting in September and October of this year. But given the spot Bitcoin ETF numbers, the massive demand with very little on the supply side, I would not be surprised if this comes a bit early. Maybe we'll get an August surprise, for example. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. But the 2024 Bitcoin supply shock is coming. Make no mistake. We are in a post-Bitcoin halving market right now, and things can get real crazy, real fast, and no one can stop it. Thanks for watching.